Alright, man. Look. So, one thing I really get fucking tired of is this constant talk about racism as if we don't fucking already know that it's a problem. Of course racism is a problem. Racism will likely never go away. As long as there are different races on this planet, it will never go away. There will always be somebody looking down on somebody else based solely upon the way they look, their skin color, their ethnicity, anything that separates that person from the other. Discrimination will exist. Now, is it as bad as it used to be? No. Hell no. Hell no. I'll tell you why. A few reasons. Real simple. Fucking Oprah is a billionaire. Michael Jordan has the most popular shoe ever created. There are more blacks in professional sports than any other race, making plenty of money. Now, if they knew what to do with that money, that's a different story. Because obviously, we as black people, we have a problem with how to utilize money and make it work for us effectively. I digress. So, racism itself, okay? Here's one of the main issues I see, and it's just something I figured that, I don't know, maybe it's a pride thing with us as black people. I really don't know. But one of the big issues that I find within the black community is this relationship with ignorance and how it's summarily more acceptable than intelligence. Somehow we've created and we exist in a culture that does not man, I don't even know how to fuck even put this. We perpetuate a culture that promotes stupidity. And when I say we promote stupidity, I say that we have, most of us, or many black people, end up making very stupid choices. Choices that prohibit them from being really productive members of society. And this is a commentary on the criminal element and also familial elements. When I say familial, I mean the idea that family is first and foremost. Now, the idea that family is first and foremost, and you can see this spread throughout most ethnicities, Hispanics, Japanese, they view family as paramount. Jewish people, they view family as paramount. Not only that, they take themselves much more seriously and they invest in their communities. See, we as black people, we don't do that. See, we have people going to school, young black boys and black girls, focusing on the wrong things, focusing on things that will not improve their lives, such as cell phones, how many boys they want to talk to, what their hair looks like, how nice their shoes are. and this is for both black boys and black girls. This is the type of shit that I don't see Japanese people, Hispanic people, or white people stressing out over in school about how they look, how they dress. It seems to be much more important than actually learning something. This is the culture we perpetuate, and yet we want to call people racist when they tell us things about ourselves that is true. Yeah, we have a higher crime rate. Yeah, we make very, very bad choices as far as marrying or not marrying, having children out of wedlock. These are very true things. Yes, we vote blanket Democrat like dumbasses for all these years and have gotten zilch out of the Democratic Party during that time. Only thing that they've really given us is the welfare state, which is to our detriment. It's not a good thing, people. Welfare is meant to help people along for part of the way. It's not something that you sit on all your life. You're not supposed to have 5, 6, 7 kids without any father in the household and then just keep collecting money from the government. But you see, that's what they set you dumbasses up for. They set y'all up to sit on this shit. They replaced the father of the black family with the government. So that's your daddy now. It's gonna be your daddy until you finally figure out that you have to make this shit work for you. If the Japanese people can come over here and make it work for them, they can. Then it's obviously, if they can make it work for them, then we should be able to make it work. You know what I mean? It's really not that, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. For real. You have to understand that the choices that you make, and this is for all of us, when you make these bad choices as black people, they reflect badly on everyone else. I don't understand how people don't fucking see that. White people think we're stupid. They fucking think we're stupid. Because we can't get it together enough to see that we're screwing up our own neighborhoods. I mean, to them, they look at us and they're like, damn, can't they tell that they shouldn't be having all these children out of wedlock? The single most effective qualifier for poverty in America is single motherhood. It will qualify you for poverty every fucking time. Now, there are a few exceptions, so I guess I can't say every time, but it's just an all-out likelihood that you are going to be poor when you make that choice. And so, here's the thing. We need to go back to having a nuclear family. We need to take responsibility for our actions. We need to put more money into our community. We need to, build our own businesses. Do all the things that the white people are doing that you don't want to do because you think they're racist. You don't want to learn like white people or talk like white people because because you think they are racist. Because you think that you're above them. Because somehow you go to school and you see a white person and you look down on them as if you're better than them. It's because your mother somehow seems that, or thinks that, it's wise to buy you clothing that you don't necessarily need to go to school to learn. I've seen this growing up myself. Seriously, I've seen this shit growing up myself. So I know it happens. I'm fucking 39 years old. I know this shit happens, yo. It still happens. It's even worse now. Got the lowest test scores, lowest IQ. We make the least amount of money, and yet we spend the most on stupid shit. And you want to blame it on racism, and I mean, I can't say racism does not exist. Racism does exist, but we gotta take responsibility for some of this shit. For real. We gotta have some type of agency in regards to our choices, in regards to how we view our communities. You know, you want to call the police racist because of how they treat us, but we are the most violent motherfuckers in the country. Period. I mean, come on, man. Like Colin Flaherty, this dude wrote a book called "Don't Make the Black Kids Angry." Are you serious? But he's right. He's right. I mean, people go to school scared of us. We can't get it together, man. We really need to bridge this gap between earnings and learning, so that we can compete intellectually. We got sports and entertainment shit locked down, but we don't own any of that shit. We don't really own any teams. Like, you got Jay-Z and the Nets. He's a partial owner. He's probably one of the smartest businessmen I've seen, and he's black. But how many black men are doing that? Not a lot, man. Not a lot. We need to start emulating what these Jewish businessmen have been doing, and implementing that within our culture, within our communities. That's what we need to do. Seriously. But I'm sure it's a whole lot of black people that don't like Jewish people for some fucking odd reason. Look, when you need to learn how to do something, you go to the most effective teacher. You go to that person who's doing it the best. You want to learn from the best. If Jewish people are doing the best, wouldn't it behoove us to look at their culture and try to emulate what they're doing? Instead, no. What we want to do is just say everybody's racist, and we walk away from these opportunities to learn because of our ego. That's what I think. What's your opinion? What do you think? What do you think we should do as black people? think everything is just racist and that we have no chance? Or do you think that if you put in a right amount of effort, you can change your situation? That's all I gotta say, man.